is up, bros? Welcome to the All Bros podcast. I'm Caleb, and unfortunately, Rose is not here this week. But we do have a very special guest joining us today, Ben from the Angry Dad podcast. Oh shit, Angry Dad podcast. Ben, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, I'm the angry motherfucking dad, and thank you for having me on, brother. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Me and Caleb like to share TikToks all day.
Oh yeah. Dude, I feel like I bet you and DJ are the ones that I send the most TikTok, or the only people I send TikToks to. But I went a little while. I think it might have been on yours, but sending a ton in a row without anything back, and I was like, oh shit, did they stop using TikTok? Now I feel silly.
Nah, I wouldn't, because I do it all the time, man. Every time I see something funny, I don't even think about it. Send. DJ, send. You know what I'm saying? No context. Here. You know what I'm saying? And it's always good. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know this is fire. And so when I know whenever you send me, I'm like, it's going to be good.
Yeah, the TikToks you send are great. I think there's only been a couple that I've missed, and it's just because I'll click on it and be video no longer available.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens like that, because sometimes it just be like, oh, okay, all of a sudden.
Oh, hi, baby.
Yeah, because I'm working on my second TikTok now, where it's because the first one got banned, and then now I'm like, okay, now I gotta, I had a nice following on TikTok, and TikTok was like, no more.
You gotta love that stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
I do like the videos that I'll see you post though. The ones with your dogs are great.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you right now, like I said, I have two pit bulls. One's retarded and one's stupid. So you know what I'm saying. And one Beefy, he's my brown one, and he just has this shit-eating grin on his face 24/7. That's just what it is. He's just numb to the world. Nah, give me a cookie. And then my other dog, he'll just look at me, look at him, be like, why is he so dumb?
Oh, you gotta love those dogs even more though. It's just
oh yeah. Oh,
you're just oh man, it's just
I treat those dogs better than I treat my kids.
That's usually the case. I mean, I know that's definitely true for my parents' dogs. I think they got treated way better than we did.
Oh yeah, I go to the store. The kids are, oh, we need this. I'm like, oh, nah, the dogs needed treats. Sorry.
Oh. Well, this week we don't have anything in 4K Spotlight, I don't think, because Rose isn't here and that's his job. And we don't have anything to discuss in Through the Wall. So I said we get straight into this week's breakdown and talk about this interesting movie.
Yes. Interesting, yes. And you know the story, I've tried to get so many people to watch this movie with me, because I do have a second podcast where it's called Your Dad's Action Movie Podcast, and this falls into it so heavily. But I'd be like, hey, watch this movie, come join me, and everyone's like, okay, and then never respond. And then I threw it towards you, and you're like, yes, let's sign this up.
Dude, I'm always down for a good recommendation. I mean, the movies that we've discussed, we get all types of movies. We get ones that are really good recommended to us. We get ones that are super shitty recommended to us. We're down for anything. If there's a movie that someone thinks is worth watching, we'll watch the hell out of it.
Yeah, everyone has those little gems in their pocket where you're like, oh, you didn't know?
Oh, but yeah, this was an interesting one. But yeah, let's say we get right into it.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Crash, host of the podcast Crash and Taz's Movie Cellar. On our show, me and my co-host pick a new movie each week and rate each movie on a few categories that we think are important to making a great movie. After we rate the movie, it gets a final rating, and that lands it somewhere on our seller scale, where it will get labeled as either a well, premium, or a top shelf film. Catch us on platforms like Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, and more. And don't forget to follow us on social media. On Instagram as Crash and Taz's Movie Seller. It's Crash, the letter N, Taz Movie Seller, with underscores in between each word. And on Facebook, Crash and Taz Movie Seller, where you as a listener can suggest movies for us to rate, and also give us some constructive criticism to make the show more entertaining. Overall, don't forget to follow or subscribe, and rate and review us, and get ready for an entertaining show with us. See you guys then.
All right. Well, if you guys haven't figured it out by the title of this episode, we are going to be breaking down. Oh shit! What year was it? 1991. Yeah, 1991's Stone Cold.
And not the wrestler.
Nope, not dude. That's what I thought at first. I was just like, when you sent me the TikTok, I was just like, wait, isn't like Steve Austin supposed to be in this? But no, this is a completely different movie, but it
completely.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Stone Cold came out in 1991. That's what we'll be breaking down this week. And if you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros and Angry Dad letter grade. The 8 categories that we are going to score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then at the end give it our own personal grade. All of those numbers get magically thrown into our algorithm and spits out a letter grade for us.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so... Oh, I guess I have to read the synopsis. Hold on. This is usually Rose's job.
Yo, he's not here to pull his weight.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, let's see here. All right. Here we go. So if you have not seen Stone Cold, we are about to spoil the entire frickin' movie for you.
In one shot.
In one shot. So, I mean, you've had a significant amount of time to watch this. So
More than a significant amount of time.
Yeah, so this is more your fault at this point, but...
I blame you.
Yeah, so getting into the synopsis. Joe Huff is a tough Alabama cop who is frustrated with a system that handles criminals with kid gloves. Currently, Joe is suspended for displaying excessive violence towards criminals. After stopping a supermarket robbery, Joe is summoned by FBI agent Cunningham, who proceeds to blackmail him into going undercover by threatening to turn Joe's 3-week suspension into 6 months without pay. Cunningham wants Joe to go undercover in Mississippi and infiltrate the Brotherhood, a white supremacist biker gang linked to the murders of government officials and suspected of dealing drugs to the mafia, due to his proficiency in criminal biker arrests. The Brotherhood is led by the rough and violent Chains Cooper. Joe goes undercover as John Stone, but his job is not easy. His FBI contact Lance is a germaphobe who does not exactly fit in with the biker crowd, and the members of the Brotherhood, especially Chains, have their suspicion about John Stone, who has seemingly come out of nowhere to get a piece of their action. Tasked with killing a man as his initiation, Joe enlists the FBI's help to carefully fake the murder and is accepted into the Brotherhood. However, Chains' right-hand man, Ice Hensley, does not trust Joe and eventually tries to expose him, leading to Ice's death in a high-speed motorcycle chase. During the operation, Joe learns that the Brotherhood's ultimate goal is to eliminate Brent the Whip Whipperton, a district attorney running for governor of Mississippi, who has promised to crack down on crime within the state. They plan to use a cache of stolen military weapons to storm the Supreme Court, meeting at the Mississippi State Capitol, where one of their own is on trial for murder, and assassinate both Whipperton and the judges presiding over the case. When Chain's girlfriend Nancy accidentally learns about Joe's identity, he confides in her and offers her immunity if she cooperates with the FBI. Though resistant at first, Nancy accepts his offer, but the operation fails when the man Joe had supposedly killed to gain admission to the Brotherhood suddenly returns. In retaliation, Chains shoots and kills Nancy, but plans to do away with Joe in a more spectacular fashion by strapping a bomb to his chest and throwing him from a helicopter en route to the Capitol. Oh my gosh.
It's fire.
Joe manages to fight his way free and commandeer the chopper, then takes the fight inside the Capitol, where a melee erupts between the Brotherhood and the local police. Chains uses an automatic rifle that was planted inside the courtroom to kill a government agent, 2 security guards, and all of the Supreme Court judges before taunting Whipperton and killing him as well. As Chains rallies his biker brethren, Joe battles his way through the ranks of the gang until finally coming face to face with Chains. Joe easily wins the fight and leaves the gang leader in police custody, but Chains suddenly breaks free and steals an officer's gun, intending to shoot Joe. A gunshot is heard, and Chains abruptly falls to the ground, having been shot by Joe's partner, Lance. Joe then marches stoically from the Capitol.
Man, that synopsis was so on point. I think that's like the best synopsis I've heard from a movie that just gave everything away.
Yeah, so we get our synopsises from Wikipedia. And they're pretty in depth.
Yeah, but that one was like literally like did not skip a beat.
Oh man, dude. So starting off with story. When you're reading it as a whole, like I just did, it's not half bad.
Yeah.
It is. I told my wife this is the most 90s action movie that I think I've ever seen.
This is, like I said, I do an action movie podcast that's in my time. And this is the definition of what a true action movie is, you know?
Yeah, dude, this movie didn't take any time to freaking, like, breathe.
Oh, no.
It was just
from
action
the very
sequence
beginning.
after actions. Yeah.
Hey,
That's what blew me away.
Yeah, on the Oculus, I wasn't ready for it because, like, when that first scene happens with the shotgun, it's like literally, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It threw me back because I'm so used to watching it on TV. But with the Oculus, it was so in my face that I was like, because the whole first scene starts off with a shotgun. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Dude, that's what I love about watching it on the Oculus, because you get that freaking theatrical experience with it. So like you said, I was taken aback by it too. And when I saw the freaking gunshot, I jumped and I was like, oh shit, did I miss something?
Yeah.
But nope, that's just how the movie starts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, it is insane. And it just, what's kind of funny, and I'm not sure if they did this on purpose or whatnot, I seem to forget that he was a cop.
Yeah.
Like, just the crazy shit that he would do. I'm just like,
well,
he's
and
just
that's
like
the thing,
a crazy biker dude.
Yeah, well, he had the biker look. He had the bike, like even the whole beginning grocery scene, you know what I'm saying? He walks in and he's just playing a smooth badass where he's like, nah, I got this shit. And he's eating and cooking. He was like, I'll pay for it, bro. With a shotgun in his face. Like, don't worry about it. My bad. And then, then fucks the dude up. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And then you're like, a cop wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dude, that is the moment I feel like I knew what I was in for. When he got the shotgun to his face and he's just like, yo, I'll pay for it. I'm like, that is honestly probably the reaction that I might have, because I'd be, it's either I would just freeze up and like pass out, or I'd have to make a joke out of the situation.
Yeah, exactly. You got to break the ice somehow. And like I said, it's just like the whole, it's written in a way where it's like it's taking itself seriously, but yet it's almost being candid, and it's like it's just like it flows right the way it was done. It's just like there's no time to breathe, but it transitions just flawlessly almost through the whole movie.
Yeah, they do a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he's meeting up with like with the Brotherhood, like it was kind of hard to tell like what the Brotherhood were about a little bit, just near the beginning. Like you slowly kind of get into it, like later.
Once you get into the compound.
Yeah, like definitely once you get there.
And there's so much nudity in this, man. There's titties everywhere.
There was so much. Dude, and they started off freaking like weird with Huff going to take a shower, and he's in like the tiniest little
he's wearing old school like briefs where they're like it's like a strap over the hip, but it's like a loincloth, and it's like, did we need to see that? But you know what though? They're playing both parts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get the women in here because they love the bars and they want to see the bars. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. They love a good bad guy.
Oh man, yeah. Like I said, this movie just hits off with just pure '90s. Like, okay, this is what you're in for.
Hey, that protein shake he makes in the morning is the whole reason I remember this movie, because like I always remember him just like tuna, bananas, just literally cracking eggs and just throwing the shells in there, and it's not for him to drink, but he does taste it, and he gives it to he literally has a monitored lizard, and he's just like, there you go. Couldn't have a dog, but a lizard named Fido, like, Fido, here you go. You know what I'm saying? And has a full-on conversation moment with this whole that literally picks him up like you pick up a dog face to face, like, come on, bro, do your job, eat your food.
Dude, this movie,
and that's the last time you see it.
Oh my gosh, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the reason that we have the 90s, like if this was the movie that's kicked off like, oh, this is a 90s style action movie, because like the difference between this and something from like the 80s is so wildly different.
So much different.
But yeah, just how they checked your expectations when you're like, okay, he's talking to his dog. Oh shit, that's a freaking dragon.
You know what I'm saying? It's huge too, and it's not fake. It looks like it, but it's not.
Nope. That's what was super surprising about it too. I'm like, oh, that's like a live lizard.
Yeah, I would not put my face that fucking close.
That was insane. And isn't that the protein shake that he was making? Wasn't that the TikTok you sent me?
Yeah, that's exactly what I sent you. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that's exactly it. Because it's so iconic. People always Google it because like it's just one of those moments in the movie where like it's like, that's so ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But also too, I've seen people make shakes like that and drink them.
Oh my gosh. kind of getting further into the movie, like after when he's like doing the initiation to the Brotherhood, one of the most like just absurd things that I saw was, or noticed, was the dude he was supposed to kill. They just send him off to some like different country.
Yeah,
like
don't
they couldn't detain him.
Don't ever come back. Don't ever come back. You know, and that guy's claim to fame, that person it's funny too, because like he literally like take a bow, puts him on his shoulder, just walks straight out the club. But that guy played the kickboxer in the Van Damme movie Bloodsport. So like that's literally that guy's claim to fame with Stone Cold and this right here.
Yeah, dude, the pacing on this movie was super fast.
Oh yeah,
like and it was just. They didn't waste any time doing transitions. Like they just went from like one action sequence to the next.
Yep.
Like anything that they talked about, like, oh, we're going to be doing, like, you need to get in with the Brotherhood. Okay, boom. And then next thing you know, it's like,
I'm in.
He's getting in.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's like the transition was just so fast. And then what I love too is like the whole getting into the Brotherhood right before he got into the Brotherhood, and there was a biker rally. Shows the biker rally, pulls up with his busted van, bike on the trailer, like anybody would do at a rally. They just be like, all right, pull up, and he fucking, you know what I'm saying, beats Ice in a motorcycle drag race, pissed the fuck off, and then fucking goes into a circle pit and fucking beats the biggest dude up, and they're like, all right, we like you. You know what I'm saying? And that guy was way bigger than him, too.
Dude, it was way bigger than him. I think that this movie kind of served to... Like, this movie did not try and humble his character at all.
Yeah, he was a juggernaut in this whole fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? He was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gets in my way.
Yeah, like...
He goes as far as getting shot in the chest with a fucking bulletproof vest on. And then he still tries to fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? He first gets up, slams the boss. He's like, what the f-? He's all, you're in. You passed. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this movie was just a crazy wild ride. And... just kind of getting into like what I would score this story. I mean, it's not perfect by any means.
No.
But I mean,
it's a good story. That's the crazy part.
Like, just reading the synopsis helped a lot because I was like, okay, there was some things that were a little bit confusing. And I think that where I was getting confused when I was watching, it was just pacing. Like, oh, yeah. Shit, like they jumped really quick into that. One thing that kind of got me with Nancy, I thought he had already told her. Maybe it was just like I couldn't hear it properly. But didn't he admit to her that he was a cop?
No, he was trying to. And like it was like the restaurant scene where they're eating and she's breaking down because she just seen the two people get murdered, you know what I'm saying, that are National Guard. And she was like, fuck this shit, this and this and this. And he's like, come on, let's go talk. And so he was getting ready to break it down, but his partner happened to slip him a note, said, hey, meet me over here and talk. And so that whole conversation died. And then, you know, he's like, you got to trust me. I'll get you out of here. And then that was the end of that. But then, like I said, she literally didn't find out until the truck heist. And when, you know, and then first of all, in the truck heist, why would you use a CB fucking radio to be like, Joe, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you motherfucker, like you could in his face here, like you could see him like, you just blew my fucking cover. What the fuck happened to fucking wait till I call you? You know what I'm saying? I was like, mother, you know, anybody could have been in this truck with me.
Yeah. Did like Nancy and Joe, they had a conversation at the compound, like right before they went on this mission.
It was talking about, you know, he wanted to come in And she wanted to get, and he wanted, is I'm coming in here to get what I want, and then I'm out. But if you play your cards right and you follow my rules, I'll take you with me. And she's like, you do that for me? I'm like, yes. And then that's what led up to the whole dinner scene.
Okay, I thought that was after.
Or might have been after. That might have been after. Yeah, because
like,
Ice was killed at that moment in time. So yeah, because he was gone all day because of that. So it was later that day, right before the heist.
Yeah, so I think that's where I might have gotten confused, because then she, like, all I heard was her, like, ask, like, "Oh, are you a cop?" And it kind of, he was whispering a little bit, so it kind of sounded like he was admitting it, and then she was just keeping her mouth shut. And I'm like, okay, like, let's see where this goes. And then, like, when they were in the truck, and she's just like, "You're a cop." I'm like, wait, didn't he just tell you?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though too. Is like, people should be able to put two and two together, but the thing is we're not in the perspective. We're watching the movie happen, so we already know. You know what I'm saying? But she's playing off the perspective. She's still naive. At least that's how I feel about it.
Right. Yeah, there was a bunch, like. Okay, was there also with Ice? Was there another dude that looked exactly like him?
Yes. And I can't remember his name, but he had long black hair with a mustache too. But he just wasn't. He was literally just a side guy and wasn't even like I think he was like labeled Henchman 1 or something like that in the credits. But
okay.
There was another guy that looked just like him. He was just a little thinner.
Dude, that bugged the shit out of me. I'm like, you're someone needs to get fired for that one, because like it was right after the Ice funeral scene.
Yeah,
and then like
he was
in
right
the background, he's like, yeah, and he's like in the back. I'm like, is that Ice?
Oh yeah, no, they did have somebody that was like that looked similar to him. You know what I'm saying? But also too, like it was similar enough where it shouldn't have looked like him.
Yeah, and we'll get into it with costumes because I have some like thoughts, and Ice is like the main thing.
Oh yeah, well that motorcycle trip.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, overall, like I said, it was just really quickly paced, and especially for an 1.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you got like a shit ton of story just kind of crammed into.
Which you did. But the thing is too is like nothing was wasted. That's the part. You know what I'm saying? Like just like you said, it moved fast, never stopped. But the thing is every scene meant something. So there was really not that much filler in between things. You know what I'm saying? So like they was able to really hammer the story out without skipping a beat.
Yeah. Like they just took the editing to this story to the extreme. Like any like pan out like shots of like the scenery, they're like, no, get rid of it. And it was just like nothing but story. Didn't give you
all that
any
B
room
film
to breathe.
Gone.
All of it. And
if there's not a person in the picture, I don't want it in there.
Oh man. Yeah, the only I think I don't quite understand why they killed those guardsmen.
With the guards, what it was is they were trying to heighten security because they were trying to put more like at least from what I remember and what I was watching, they were trying to get more people to have eyes on what they were going to do, because it was going to be this spectacular, like, Sundance and Butch Cassidy fucking showdown where everybody's going to die, but they're sacrificing everybody to get the person that's in there out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everyone wanted, because everything's supposed to be for the greater good of the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, with the plan laid out, who in the fuck really expected to get out? You know what I'm saying? They had a helicopter to escape, but the thing is everyone's got to hold down the fort while those people in a helicopter escape. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that whole like I know the ultimate goal was to try and kill the whip.
Yeah.
But it almost came across like they pulled that whole stunt off to go and save that one guy.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it felt. You know what I'm saying?
That seems excessive.
Very excessive. But the thing is, too, is like he was supposed to be the leader. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt it was. Like that person was supposed to be the one calling the shots, and Chain was literally supposed to be the second in command, and the other guy was sergeant at arms. So he would almost be the vice president of the biker club. You know what I'm saying? At least that's how I was feeling it was supposed to come off as.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't quite know if that was the case.
Well, that's the only angle that I can see it being. How they were trying to set it up, because otherwise, why would you try to save that one guy? If you're just trying to kill the dude, you could have easily done it in any other fashion, because these guys had explosions. They killed a judge, they killed a lawyer with explosions. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, they blew up a guy going fishing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had a little boat, he turned on the motor, and boom, end the conversation. They could have easily killed that guy in any other fashion.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just kind of felt a little bit too hard to track. Like, okay, what was their goal? Is their goal to get this guy out? Is it to kill these people? Like, yep. What's your deal?
Exactly. It did get a little muddy at that moment in time, because you're like, I don't quite understand. Like, because even too, is like, if this is all they were going to do, then why did the president even have, or Chain even have to go if, they were just going to go in there and murder everybody? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Otherwise, but honestly, too, like I said, with plot armor, he had to go. You know what I'm saying? That's the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I missed it, but did we know that guy was in jail?
Like, oh yeah, I thought in the beginning when there was a whole murder that happened. And someone seen it, and then so they arrested just that, because like once somebody got murdered, they can only arrest one person. So they arrested that one person, charged them, and then they had a big old like news conference, because they had a lot of news clips going on in the background. And the news clips like, we were able to charge just one member, and we got him. And I want the death penalty because they killed this person.
Okay. Jeez, that just brings up some issues for me now.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like I said, in whole, the story is great, but the thing is there's going to be holes. But like I said, in the concept, and this is just how I always feel about movies. Is there's got to be a couple of holes in there that just need to be filled. You know what I'm saying? So, like, guess what? We just need a reason for this. There it is. You know what I'm saying? All right, the movie moves along. No one pays attention.
Okay. Yeah, from what I was understanding, because it seemed like they were going on like a killing spree, and then they were only able to like catch that one guy, and that.
Well, the killing spree. Well, like when they killed the judge and they killed that lawyer, it's because they convicted that guy.
Okay.
And then Whip came in and be like, they killed the judge, they killed the lawyer, I want the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? Because he was originally going in there for a different murder. Right. And so they're like, nope, because this is what they're doing, I'm going to keep appealing until I get the death penalty.
Okay. That's, I thought he was going after the entire club, or like the entire brotherhood. Like, I didn't think he was going straight after that one dude.
Yeah. See, they were trying to go after the entire brotherhood, but they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? They can only charge the one person. So they're like, nope, one at a time. And so that's kind of, how they were looking at it. Like, they're trying to make an example of us, not fucking us.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I might dock more on writing, because that's just like story details.
Yeah, that's very, but that's like, that's fine tooth comb right there. Like, that's like, like, all right, I had a question here, still didn't get answered. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, there's good, but with any movie you do, that happens regardless. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be parts that just fizzle out, and then it just needs to be moved on.
Right. So for right now with story, I'm just going to be docking for like the pacing issues that I had with it, because overall it was a pretty decent story.
Yeah.
Not perfect. I think, like I said, the pacing just made things a little bit too quick. I didn't feel like I could sit and like think on things for a minute.
Yeah. Couldn't process them fast
It was just
enough.
new info after new info after new info, and it was just kind of like, it just overloaded. And so it was like, and like how I'll get into writing, it just like made it really hard to follow. At least for me. Maybe my attention span is just absolute garbage. But
well, you're talking to a vet that's seen so many action movies. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm used to that pacing, and I'm used to that hurry up and go. You know, so it's like this is my wheelhouse of movies here.
Right.
Plus, I've seen it a billion fucking times.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting at like maybe like a 79-ish.
Well, you're close to me.
For story. Where are you at?
I'm at 81.
81. Yeah, it's not a bad score. Not a bad score at all for this. So that averages us out to an 80. Getting into writing, this is where I'm going to kind of tear it apart. The dialogue was super intense, like all the time.
Yeah, it was dialed. It was literally dialed to a 9 almost every scene.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone had crazy
too
eyes.
Much. Everyone,
yeah.
Especially like when we first get that introduction to Chains,
yeah,
and like just the way that they or Ice, he was way too intense for me. Like, just gun in the face, just what? And like,
do something.
Yeah.
You gonna use that stick?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Nah, it definitely, like I said, but also too, like, it's that level of craziness that the characters have to make the movie work. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, no one wants to see a regular bad guy. Everyone wants to see a psychopath. And, you know, Chains was a psychopath, but he was a cool, calm, collected psychopath. You know what I'm saying? And then you get Ice. Ice is like, nope. Everybody needs to know I'm crazy. Everyone needs to know I'm the baddest fucking dude in the fucking room. And everyone needs to know that I'll kill them. And I've known people in real life that are like that.
What threw me off, or something that didn't sit right with me, is when Joe was talking about, okay, I need to find an inn. I need to cause some stuff. Like, I thought he was trying to get Ice's attention.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I need an inn. Like, what's my inn? And then he goes and freaking harasses him.
But in biker terms and talks, you know, you got a peacock. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you don't show that you're a badass, no one's going to give a fuck about you. So, like, he walked over there like, you know, I'm going to push him a little bit and see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like, the one part that I thought is when he pushed him, the other guy that was with him, his name was Guts. And he was like, you know, very timid, you know, like he was like basically the fool of the group. And so when that fight started happening and Ice got called in to help the stripper and Guts got knocked out and fucking Joe fucking just saved his ass, I thought that was going to be his end, but it ended up not even going. That I thought it was like wasted part there. Like they could have used that, you know what I'm saying? Because they give that guy so much sympathy in the movie that like I thought it was just a wasted end. They could have definitely used that character a little bit more to kind of like, I'm vouching for this dude. I'm in the crew. This dude just saved me. You know what I'm saying? I thought that a little bit more used, but it just kind of just got fizzled out there.
Yeah, I had the feeling that he was a prospect. Like, was he like a legit?
No, he was full fledged. He had colors because like in the part where Chains grabbed him, it's like, you see this, and he showed him the patch on his back. That was a full patch on your back. What they call colors, what they call an upper lower patch with all that in there is like prospects don't get that. You literally wear a vest that says prospect on the back, and then guess what? And then when you pass, then you get a full patch of colors thrown on your vest or your jacket or wherever you fly. You know what I'm saying? So like he was full in. He wasn't a prospect. He was part of the group. He had say, but his say didn't really count for much because, like I said, every group has that one guy. Everyone likes him. He's there, and everyone just deals with him.
Right.
I just thought,
it didn't seem like too many people liked him.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, he's like I said, he's one of those guys that he's here. He's here. He's been here. He hasn't gone anywhere. Everyone, but also too, like being a fool and kind of having that character aspect that he had. Everyone just deals with him because guess what? Maybe he's a family member of one of the family members, or that's Chain's cousin, and he's here. But we fuck with him. Everyone fucks with him. Everyone accepts that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to like him, but guess what? We have to respect him in the fact that he's here. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of crews that have people like that, where it's just like, whatever end that they have in, it just holds, And so like, but the thing is like there were moments in time where that character, like they emphasized him so much. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's his end. He saved his ass. And I was like, no, that wasn't his end. You know what I'm saying? They just literally used, hey, we're having a get together. Come to the rally. And then like they had a moment in time where they talked, they spoke, and then they walked away from it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They could have used him a lot more. Like really the only purpose he served was getting him to the rally.
Yeah.
And then just kind of showing that he has it seemed like he has a conscience when when they were killing the guards.
Exactly.
And then they freaking like bushwhack his hand.
Yep.
Which that was messed up.
Exactly.
Like why did they have him start his bike?
They were going to probably tell him to leave, but he didn't get on his bike fast enough to leave.
Oh.
Because at that moment in time, he spoke up when he shouldn't have spoke up. You know what I'm saying? Like when the boss is talking, don't question him in front of people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more of like when you're having conversations with people the way like he was having a conversation with, that's like the worst sign of disrespect you can give somebody is to try to call them on some bullshit in front of everybody, because now I have to do something to you to fucking prove to everyone else here my word is God, my word is said, my word is done. You know what I'm saying? What I say goes, and don't fucking call me out in front. You can pull me aside and have a conversation with me, like, bro, that just wasn't cool with me. I respect it, I understand it. Just stay the fuck back then. But that's not what he did. He spoke up in the middle of a crowd, which he shouldn't have done, and fucking lost his hand from what I could figure out.
Yeah, they never really show what happened.
Yeah, they never really showed it, but
like I almost appreciated that you didn't see anything from that, because like I wish we would have seen like some aftermath.
Yeah, some blood splatter,
or just like his hand like bandaged up, or just something along those lines. But I did appreciate that they pulled away when he was getting his hand, whatever happened to it, because it makes it so much worse, because it's like, oh, you're imagining
exactly
what happened.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, it was so crazy. It was just like I said, it just like the more you dissect it, the more like it gives an aspect of this biker life that you don't see in most biker movies, where it's a little more on the violent side.
Yeah. Like, and I feel like I have if I have any, there's so little doubt that shit like that actually occurs.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, you know, a little more back in the day. Yes, you know what I'm saying. In that moment in time when that I talking about, like there were so many biker gangs coming up, and you know, there's so much shit and stories that I've heard just from people that I talk to in that lifestyle where it's like, you know what I'm saying. I made a
Yeah.
face for those who couldn't see me.
Dude, I didn't realize for the longest time that biker gangs were actually like that. Because my dad, he's in a motorcycle club. And they had that whole thing where he was a prospect and then gets his cut and like the colors and everything.
Yeah.
And like, but seeing, like, I went on a trip with them to Kansas, and just seeing how the actual gangs like view them is hilarious.
Yeah. Like I said, when you start getting into a little more heavy duty gangs out there, like I said, you know, I'm out here in the Bay Area, so like, you know, the biggest one is basically, you know, out here, and you know, I just happen to know quite a bit of those people, and it's just like, you know, when you're around that life, you hear and see everything, but I didn't hear anything, didn't see anything.
Yeah, that's my philosophy. As long as it's not directly affecting me, like I didn't see shit.
You know what I mean? Ooh. I swear to God.
Yeah. Dude, like, funny story. We were at a gas station, and there were some gang members that were riding like the opposite direction, and then they flipped a Yui and started following my dad's club.
Yeah.
And then we pulled into like a gas station, and they pulled into like a gas station like on the other end.
Oh yeah, they're there to check colors.
Yeah, just to like see what they were about. And one of the club members from my dad's club came up to me because I was riding the safety vehicle.
Yeah, the trailer.
Yeah, so I was driving that, and I was wearing a Robin shirt. So like just a red shirt with like the yellow R and everything.
Yeah.
And he came up to me and I had to pee like a mother. So I was like filling up the truck, and he's like, "Hey, you might want to stay in the truck." Like, and I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "You're wearing their colors, man. Like that, you know how disrespectful. Like they might do something crazy." And I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna piss my pants. Freaking ran in, and one of the the gang members was in there.
Yeah.
And I kind of had like a little
Like
moment.
I just peed a little bit.
Yeah. Like, oh shit. But he turned around, looked, and he's like, "Yo, is that Robin?"
Well, that's the funny part too. Is like they can tell. You know what I'm saying? They can eat. You know, there's a certain look of a biker, and I'm pretty sure you're flying by, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't like everyone else in my dad's club was wearing like a vest and like and everything. Like I was just t-shirt and jeans.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes. You know, like even when I go places, you know, I always wear a sleeveless shirt. I'm tattooed from the legs all the way to my head, huge fucking beard, and I don't even drive a motorcycle, and I still get fucking looks.
Yeah, I like to ride. I want to get a motorcycle, but I would not have the typical biker aesthetic to me. Like my helmet is a full face helmet. It's like it's blue and it has red and white stripes on it with the Captain America ears that I painted on. My vest is a Captain America vest. and I have
Exactly.
a black leather jacket that I'm painting the Punisher skull on. Like, there's nothing that I could wear, or there's nothing about me that screams badass biker. It's like,
Well, let
oh,
me
this
tell you right
nerd
now.
with some.
As long as you ain't rocking colors and you ain't got no flags or cuts on you, nobody is gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's cool. Just doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Because bikers respect bikers because everyone enjoys the ride. But the thing is, when you start flying colors and flying flags, then it's like, now we have a problem. Who are you? What are you doing? Are you a 1%er? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? All that has to be verified, especially when you start getting into territories.
Yeah. Which is just, it was funny just because I'd never dealt with that before. And the fact that I got singled out because of my shirt. Like, exactly like that guy thought I was going to, but for a completely different reason.
You know what I'm saying? He's like the shirt, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, it's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like I used to have a specific kind of haircut, and with the haircut that I had, it just caused fights all the time. It was just like and I'll throw it out there. I used to have what they call a Mongolian tail. And the only way I can really describe it is, you know how in old Japanese movies where they just basically have like a patch of hair like on the top of their head like this? Like it's just a circle and it comes into a big tail?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, I had that, you know what I'm saying? But it has a completely different meaning in Chicano in the Northern California area. And it's like a flag for trouble. And I've gotten numerous fights, like, I'm talking about 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1 fights. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Once I started having kids and stuff like that, I kind of had to be like, I can't do this with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a couple of fights where the kid, my youngest son was with me. And I'm like, go to the car. I'll be there in a second. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they don't go after them and I can keep them busy here. And it just got to the point where I'm like, all right, let me cut this off. And, it just is what it is. But I used to have this thick, long fucking tail, braided the fuck up. And once, just like how you having flags, having cuts, having colors, it draws that unwanted attention that you don't want.
Oh. We'll get into it. Just bringing that up, like is definitely a costumes talk, but just trying to stay on task.
Oh yeah, it's hard because it's such a good movie, so it's hard to stick to the format right now.
It's really good. One of the things, I think my biggest problem, like, overall with the movie was the transportation scene. Just because there was a lot of shit that was just confusing there. Like, they threw in that dude that looked exactly like Ice.
Yeah.
They had, like, the conversation with the dude that was driving the semi, and then he starts, like, acting up.
Yeah.
And, like, fake gets killed. Yep. I was just like, yo, what the hell is this dude doing? Like,
exactly. Why was this not discussed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then when later he's just like, man, I died really good this time.
That's it.
Like the dude was giving me stress. I'm like, he's gonna blow this whole freaking
exactly
thing.
The whole. I'm like watching, like, what are you doing? God damn it!
Like, you're part of this operation, dumbass. Like, knock it off.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, but like realize it just afterward with what his role was. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's it. Chain got him real good too. So this time you really die.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, another, like, after that sequence, just the fact that he freaking abandoned all the drugs.
Yeah.
Like, he just, that was so weird. That was so weird for him.
Literally just drives away on his bike. Get off my horse.
Yeah, and then just like takes off. I'm like, yo, this is an operation.
Yeah, you need to figure out where the fuck this is going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then he like goes, bitches and complains about it to the FBI guy, and then he's like, you need to go find these drugs, and you're like, fine, and then goes and gets like blows them up.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? All that money just got blown up. God damn it.
Yeah, it's just...
So that was evidence. It was funny too, because like when a trailer gets shot, it's not gonna fall down like that. But also too, like when it fell off the trailer, it just kept rolling straight. And I'm like, it wouldn't do that. It literally, you know what I'm saying? It jackknife.
Yeah, that shit would dig straight into the damn concrete and stop almost immediately.
Exactly.
Like it might slide for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. It's just like but you know, like I said, move for stunt purposes.
I don't know what category this would fall under, so I'll bring it up now. His bike was hilarious to me. Did you notice the paint job?
It just had it's like blue skull that just had this awkward look to it.
It was his hair.
Yeah.
It was the freaking mullet.
That's the thing is like he was known for that mullet. You know what I'm saying? That mullet was that was a signature Boz back in the day because he used to have that haircut all the way from college, all the way to the NFL, all the way through his basically to all his major movie career.
Are you shitting me? I thought that was a design or like a costume choice.
That's his signature. Like I said, if you go back to his college days, you'll see it. He had he created that signature look in college and completely stuck with it all the way through his NFL career and into his first couple of movies. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that was him. You know what I'm saying? The feathered mullet. You know what I'm saying? People weren't ready for it back then in the 90s.
Dude, that's hilarious. Oh my hell.
Like I said, you go back. Like I said, that's the signature Boz right there.
Oh my gosh! And just the fact that they put that paint job on the bike. I mean, oh my hell! That was. That's what made me think. Like, okay, this is just like something weird they decided to pull for the movie. I didn't.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, I should have said that earlier too. I was like, that's the signature Boz haircut right there.
Oh.
Because it makes more sense once you know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh.
Yeah, I think my costume score just went up. Oh. Yeah, other than like that, just the loads of issues I had with the transportation scene and like just the whole drug thing in general in the I don't even know what act I would consider that, like the second act.
Yeah. Or it would be third act because it's like it goes into getting him getting into the club, and then him prospecting.
Right.
Because there were so many acts
I guess
in this, if you really think about it.
Yeah. Like it's just like micro movies.
Yeah, exactly. like you could have literally broke this up into a TV series.
You probably could have.
Yeah, each act would have been a good 30-minute movie or 30-minute TV show.
Jeez, we need to be careful about who hears that because we're gonna see that like a Stone Cold TV series on Amazon or HBO.
Well, let me tell you right now, the Boz is still acting and he's still doing movies and he plays a cop right now.
What's he in right now?
Oh, I can't even remember the name of the movie, but like they did a clip of it in the Super Bowl, and they do a couple of clips of him all dressed up in the sheriff's uniform. I just can't remember the name of the damn show.
Yeah, my writing score is a lot lower than my story. Just because it was just intense. It was just a little like way over the top.
Well, in movie fashion, it has to be over the top. So at least for me, it has to be over the top. So when it's done, it doesn't look like it was. You know what I'm saying? Because like until you really break it down, then it seems like that might have been a little excessive.
Yeah. The only things that I felt were like excessive in this was the nudity.
Hey, and you catch a little bit of 90s Bush in there too.
Oh yeah. I caught that in full
That's it.
Whatever quality the Oculus is able to portray.
1080p. Crystal clear.
Oh. But yeah, I think with the pacing issues that I had with the story, I don't feel like that served the script very well.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, lots of jumping around. Just lots of like things that were difficult to follow, too. Like I said, what the Brotherhood's like ultimate goal was. Like I thought it was about killing the Whip. Or yeah, I thought that was the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But it was way more convoluted than that, and
Oh yeah. Like I said, it got muddy at the end.
Yeah, and I think too with thinking that like the goal seemed like it was to save Whipperton, right?
Yeah.
From like the FBI's. Yeah, like that was the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
They failed miserably.
Oh man, and they had National Guard. They had like so many things going on, and right off top, like how in the hell did a gun get taped to the bottom of that seat? And then he had it on his lap, fully exposed.
Yeah, wasn't even like trying to hide it.
Yeah,
it was just like kind of
like,
off to the side.
Kind of had the coat on the barrel, and the rest of it, he's just sitting there like, yeah, I'm here, got a gun in my lap. What are you gonna do about it? And sat right behind the FBI agent.
Jeez, it was just way too, like I said, way too convoluted of a plan for it to make any sort of sense.
Well,
like, this was a suicide mission.
Make the plan, execute the plan, everything go horribly wrong.
Yeah, but because of that, I think we're going to go down to like a 68 for the writing. It was rough for me.
See, I'm sitting at maybe a 70. I think 70 is for my writing is going to be right about there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Well, that averages us out to a 69 for writing.
69.
All right. Next up, we got acting, which we have Brian Bosworth, who played Joe Huff. Lance Henriksen, who played Chains Cooper. William Forsythe, who played Ice. Arabella Holzbog, who played Nancy. Sam McMurray, who played Lance. And then Richard Grant, who played Cunningham.
Yeah, and this is we had to talk about this. This is a star-studded cast before it was a star-studded cast. The boss is not an actor. I think
not
this is
even
his
a little bit.
first. I believe this is his first movie, and you can tell. But the thing is everyone else around them is carrying him, acting their asses off, making this a great movie because everyone's playing their parts correctly. You know what I'm saying? The two bad guys in this movie are like known and great bad guys. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's just so crazy because like they were banking off the boss to make this movie happen as an action star. You know what I'm saying? He was coming in to be the next Arnold. He was, promoted as like the next big action star to come in there. He was like the Dolph Lundgren of like 80s action movies of like, he's coming in, he's a fresh kid, fresh face, and about to make this. And unfortunately, his chops just aren't there. You know what I'm saying? But everyone else, though, I'm sorry, Ice was exactly who Ice needed to be. Chains was exactly who Chains needed to be. And, right off top, Lance, he is a surprising character that I love, because if anyone had character growth, it's only him.
Yep. That is absolutely true. Oh, dude, it's weird too, because like, I mean, Bosworth, action wise, like he pulled the action off incredibly well.
Oh yeah.
Like this is like, I'm not the biggest fan of what I've seen him in, so I don't know how this is going to come off to some people, and like especially you. I think his acting and like just the way that he's able to pull off action, his acting is on the same level as I'd say like Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
But I think his acting or his action is a lot better than Steven Seagal's.
Well, but it's true, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you get Jean-Claude Van Damme, when you get like Sylvester Stallone, they're athletic. You know what I'm saying? In the fact of they work out. Jean-Claude Van Damme was an actual martial artist. Steven Seagal's an actual martial artist too, but they don't have the function and flow of like athleticism in like functional strength. The Boz, college pro, fucking also too NFL pro, and so he just has that natural athleticism that was easily translated into action movies because he's used to throwing himself at stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, guess what? I know how to fight, because he's known to fight. He's known to, hurl himself at things. He's known to run, jump, you know what I'm saying? Do all these things. And this is prime time Boz in this movie. So that athleticism he has easily, goes into this action movie. You know what I'm saying? That's what gives it. And plus he's really young still in this movie. You know what I'm saying? Because like, this movie was like a little bit after his NFL career, and he went straight from college to the NFL real quick. You know what I'm saying? There was like, I think he must have been like 23 or 24 by the time he made this movie.
Jeez.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 100% sure on the date, but I'm pretty sure he was like still early 20s when this movie was made.
That is wild to think about, because I'm 26. He looks way older than I do.
Oh, yeah. But, like I said, life was hard back then, because you got to remember that it's hard drinking, hard partying, fucking, football, fucking all the stresses of college, you know what I'm saying? All that bullshit,
Yeah. But I think he, like I said, action-wise, he did incredible. I think what you're talking about, like the function, I think it showed really well in that pit fight. Like, I think he sold that fight better than his opponent.
Oh yeah, big time.
And his opponent was like
very stiff.
Chiseled as all hell, just like kind of like almost sculpted. Like it,
he had a bodybuilder figure. And like I said, it's stiff and rigid. There's no flexibility. There's no agileness to it. There's none of that. But once again, football, functional strength, you know what I'm saying? And doing football, you have to be limber. And guess what? That easily translates into what that pit fight was. Yeah,
for sure. Like, it's crazy to think about. Like, the stuff that a lot of the super fit people that we see in action movies, the ones that are like chiseled like Greek gods, have nothing on like the strongman competition people. But like, and they don't have like normal abs. It's just they just got like a freaking brick of a gut.
Exactly, you got that powder belly.
Yeah. And like that, it just kind of showed with him. Like, he had like some abs, like some
Yeah,
definition.
no, he had
just
a
not
lot
like
of shape, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but also too, it's like, no, I got strength. You know what I'm saying? Because like one of the things, like even with MMA and UFC fighting, everyone thinks you need to have this chiseled muscular body to be strong. It's like, no, a fit body with a little bit of fat on it, that's the perfect shape, because guess what? You're not requiring so much oxygen. You're not requiring so much energy to be spent on fucking physically holding yourself up. Like there's this ratio that needs to be there for perfection when it comes to fighting, and the Boz has that well, because like I said, the other guy was way more jacked than him, but Boz was still jacked in comparison, and was still, you know, like he wasn't struggling and breathing hard, even though that guy fought a couple of fights before he got in there. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, you know, the smaller guy won, which was Boz in that fight, because the other guy was towering over him.
Yeah. Like that whole fight, it had like a UFC fighter versus a WWE fighter vibe to it.
Oh yeah. Now, like I said, that's old school strong Iron Man fighting, because they used to do that back in the day, where they just have a pit and you just keep fighting until someone loses.
Oh, but yeah, like for me, I think he gets some like major points for his action. His action was just absolutely killer. I know he didn't do all of his own stunt work. Like it's
can't do it all.
Yeah, when he's like riding the bike, I'm like, that is very obviously someone else. But his acting, like anytime that he was just talking, not super great.
Yeah,
and like you said, he was being carried by the rest of the cast.
Oh yeah, it definitely, it was there. It's very noticeable. But the thing too is, like I said, they did it well. You know what I'm saying? He got out his lines. I don't know how many takes it took each time, but you know what I'm saying? He was able to show enough emotion to make it palatable.
Yeah. The people that I feel did like the best at like keeping at a reasonable level, at least for like a 90s movie, were the FBI agents, Lance and Cunningham.
Yeah.
I think they were like just the perfect level of like they did not feel super out of place.
Yeah.
But when you get into like Chains and Ice, Ice especially frequently went over the top, and it's just okay, dial it back.
Yeah. See, it's funny is because, like I said, the reason I liked Ice so much is because, like I said, I've grown up with people that are exactly to the T who Ice is. Like, no understanding of what a conscience is, no understanding of what no means, no understanding that someone can stop me. There's like I grew up knowing people like that, like never intimidated by them because I grew up with them, but everyone else around them would be scared shitless to look at them, talk to them, or even have them or him talk to them. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no. Like, you know, they do what they can to avoid this person. And so, like, because of that, that's Ice was one of my favorite characters, because I'm like, no, I fucking grew up with, it's like at least 5 guys that were like that, like to the point where like they pull out a knife, shove it right in your face. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and I'm like, you know, like shit, you know, that was a good portrayal of that person. You know, Chains was good, but the thing is like, you know, I know a lot of cool, calm, collected guys that when they drink and party, they turn into what Chains is. But I know way more people that are fucking like how Ice was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like just straight murderers at like, no, they'll do exactly what they're going to want to do at any point in time. It doesn't matter who's around, or what's going on. They're going to do exactly what they're going to want to do. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you don't go with the flow, they'll turn on you.
Right. Yeah, dude, Ice just had a wild look in his eye. That was just
but
unsettling.
that's and that's the thing too. Is like in a Steven Seagal movie, he played Bobby, which was basically the exact same character, but in this movie. So in Above the Law, that's exactly that character, because he played in that movie. He was the bad guy in that movie. Is the exact same character he played in this movie. So like I just had that love because I'm like, oh, okay, I love this guy as a bad guy because he just has that talk. You know what I'm saying? That way about it. Like he's got the crazy eye, and I don't give a fuck attitude.
I was just scrolling through his IMDb, and I am sending this to Rose because in 2010 he played John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. Hey, see? That's what I'm saying. And he missed out on that. You know what I'm saying? He could have. That could have been him making that correlation right now, Rose. You messed up.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird because like at least the picture that he has on IMDb, he doesn't look like a crazy person. Like he just kind of looks like a hard ass. But
yeah,
any other like all the pictures that they're sharing of him, he looks freaking nuts.
Yeah, but he plays it just right. It's like, oh my god, that's why I had a love for the character. You know what I'm saying? Because like just seeing him and seeing all these other movies that he's done. Because like I said, I've damn near watched every one of his movies, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
you got to throw in a new bit for the show where it's 5 degrees of Gacy.
5 degrees of Gacy. Oh, dude, Rose. I think Rose would kill it with that. I don't know if he's heard about that movie, so I'm definitely going to share that with him after we get off here. All right, who's in your top 3 for acting
in this movie? I'm gonna go Ice. Ice. Fuck, it's tough. Ice, Lance, and then Boz. That's just how I'm gonna go. And the reason Ice, because like I said, I just love that character. Lance is because he plays his character is the only character that evolves, but his character has the best line at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? And the Boz, because he's the Boz, period. But that's going to be my 3-way right there.
I think I'm going to agree with you with Lance. My number 2, I think I'd have to give to Ice. Like, he wasn't my favorite character in this, but just acting-wise, like, the dude just killed it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, he goes over the top a lot, and I don't necessarily think that's his fault. I think that's just the direction that the director
vision
was going.
of whoever the director was.
Yeah. And then my number 1, I'm going to give to Chains. Because he killed it. Like, if I think Bosworth, I think he's like a really close number 4 for me. Didn't quite crack the top 3, just because, like you said,
that's just how how it goes, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Boz, he doesn't have the acting chops, but his action in it. Just that's what sold it to me. That's why I put him at 3. Chains I would give 4, and the only reason I give Chains 4 is because Ice outshined him the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when they have their interactions, he's like, I don't like this guy, and and he's like, he's either gonna be the biggest bulldozer or the biggest pork chop I have. I'm like, that was the weakest fucking line I ever fucking heard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why'd you say that?
Rough.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like. It's just like, it's just every time that they had a scene together. I know Chains had to play it cool, calm, and collected till the end, but that's just how their dynamic was. Is, you know, like, it's just like I said, I that's the only reason I give Chains 4 is because like every time that Ice and him were in a scene, Ice just fucking took it.
Yeah, Ice freaking, he killed it. But I think the reason I put Chains a little bit higher is because he was able to kind of reel it in just a tad better than Ice was. Like, this dude just went all out.
Yeah,
like
every
left
time.
nothing on the freaking table. Like, he's just all right. Like,
so 4 aces. I'm all in. God damn it.
Oh, all right. Where are you sitting now with an acting score?
Man, with the acting score, I'm gonna like maybe a 67.
Ooh, that is actually exactly where I was at too. Yeah, it was watchable.
Yeah,
It's just compared to like some other stuff, I mean, not the best.
yeah. Hey, like I said, this is a gem of a movie, and it's not even a cult following. There is no following behind this movie. This is just like one of those things where it's like, did you see that? And I'm like, yes or no. That's just all you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna like, oh, I love that movie. I was like, no. This is like one of those ones that are like, you know, it's like, I love it. I'll recommend it. But the only reason I even rewatched it is because we were doing this podcast.
That fair enough. Like, I feel like this is going to be one of those movies like later down the line when someone's like, "Hey, did you ever see this?" Yep. You want to watch it? I mean, if I have to.
You know what I'm saying? It's just what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right. So that averages out to a 67 for acting. Moving on over to character development. Unfortunately, I think you're right with Lance being the only one that had any growth whatsoever.
Yeah. You know, it's just so hilarious because, like I said, the boss is the boss through the whole movie. Ice is Ice through the whole movie. Chains slowly turns into a monster, but like, you know, but you can always tell it's there. But it just starts getting just a slightly wilder at the end, and then he's just off the rails. But that's like a quarter of the movie. But Lance, all right, he shows up to like this is the first part. Fucking Boz shows up to the bar to meet Ice to shake things up. You know what I'm saying? Make some noise. Find his inn. And you know who the fuck's there? Lance in a denim jacket, a fucking bandana, and a hat. All right. And then Boz
with his collar popped.
With his pop collar's too much, huh? And then, you know, and then, you know, with the greatest of ease, Boz is like, rip the denim jacket sleeve off, rip the other sleeve off. He's like, dude, what, you just ripped my sleeves off. I'm like, come on. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole germaphobe, like, it was 100%. He's like, can I get a glass? You know, like, let me get 2 beers. Can I get a glass too? You know, who the fuck asked for, you know, like, if you get a draft beer, guess what? It's coming in a glass anyways. But when you get in 2 beers, you just take the 2 fucking beers. And then, can I get another glass? I'm just like, all right. Oh my god! And then the whole speech in the bathroom.
Oh, dude, that was my favorite bit from Lance. He's like, I was just trying, like, my legs are sore. I'm like trying to squat down but not touch anything.
Just like hovering. I think George Washington took a shit in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? You know what I'm saying? Oh.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious, and just the fact that he got the final kill of the movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then with the smoothest line, you know what I'm saying. You got to know when to turn it on. You know? Oh, you know. I was like, it was like a whole coming back to full circle because the boss gave him the advice and he just followed it. You know what I'm saying? With a pastel fucking suit on. You know what I'm saying? He was fucking the bluest of blue suits, white shirt, 6-shooter. You know what I'm saying? You can't get any more fucking 90s cop than that.
Man, I loved every second of Lance. It was so good.
Just the awkward, and then the boss always looking at him like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Like always questioning him. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, are you serious?
Yeah, it almost felt like Boz was making fun of him, just like with the girl in his bed, and he's just like, "What? Never seen one of those before?"
not that caliper or that close. You know what I'm saying? Like, huh? And he's trying to catch a glance the whole fucking time. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to do character development with an action movie like this because, I mean, it's just like the main focus was Joe or John, like whatever.
Yeah. Stone
whatever.
Cold.
Yeah. So that was the main focus, and he just did not. He just didn't.
He was the same badass in the beginning and the same badass at the end. And like I said, he wasn't a better person from when he started. That's how I looked at it when it comes to character development. Like from the first thing, he had a shotgun in his face. I'll pay for the cookie. To I didn't shoot him. He's going to jail, but I'm a cop. So you know what I'm saying? Like even in the first, he didn't kill anybody. He just knocked him out, and that's basically what he did at the end. So it's like all the in between. He never really killed anybody. He beat a couple of people up. And his, we didn't talk about now we're going to talk about stunts, aren't we?
Yeah, I usually throw like stunt work and everything into like effects.
Yeah, then we'll wait for that. But there was like no up or down with him. He was the exact same badass from the beginning to the end. And so, just like you said, it's hard to place that on him because it's just like, no, he's the character. You know, there was no struggle. He was a juggernaut through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
He didn't really get his ass beat at any point in time.
Not really. Like, he didn't... I think the biggest struggle he had was with the pit fight.
Yeah. And he still won that.
Yeah. Other than that, the only time that... I mean, he ever, like, I would consider lost was when... everyone had their guns up on him.
Yeah. Everyone had a gun on him. And he was still trying to fight.
Yeah, so unfortunately because of that, I think I'm going to be at like a 65.
No, that's fair. I was like, myself, I was already thinking 60. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, it's hard. Like, Lance is the only reason it's a 60 to me. That's just, you know what I'm saying? You can't, for me, I can't, like, justify any other character, you know what I'm saying, that's like, that made me feel a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, right. Even with Gut, he was still the same fool from beginning to the end. But the only thing is the sympathy I felt for him was the exact same sympathy I felt for him at the end. So I was like, I couldn't even give that character any kind of, like, score or development on, like, you know... Like, there could have been something so much more with that character and a growth development, a relationship and a partnership with John or Joe, whoever we want to call him, and Gut, and then to all, you know, be created and tailored all the way to the end. But that just never happened.
Yeah. I think what action movies fail to do, and this is just kind of in general, because I'm looking back at some of like the other character development scores that we've scored pretty low. And the issue with it is that they don't challenge the main character's values or morals.
Yeah.
And like, I know that with whatever you want to call him, John, he was like challenged to kill people.
Yeah.
But he was able to just kind of like sneak them away.
Exactly.
And so like he never really challenged that, but I feel like if he would have been like had to do it in front of like the Brotherhood,
yeah,
I think that would have really challenged his character.
Exactly.
And maybe made him like struggle with that. How is he going to get out of that? And just,
it's some kind of internal monologue where it's like, oh.
Yeah, or just dealing with like if he did end up killing that person, like how would he handle the guilt or handle the just that situation in general as a whole? Like I think a lot of action directors overlook that we're interested in seeing that.
Yeah,
like it's not like it doesn't just work in dramas or
thrillers and horror. We like to see the conflict in the inside of the mind of a hero because it makes it real. You know what I'm saying? I understand fantasy heroes where they have to be stoic at all points in times because they have to have that. But the thing is too is like if you get a little bit of like that connection of like why he's really doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because like we understand he's a cop. We understand he's an aggressive, not willing to do excessive force to get the job done. But, that's the extent of what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just challenge him, push him to becoming excessive.
Yeah.
Or it's just anything like that. Like, I don't even feel like I thought that they were going to take like a good route of him going, instead of shooting for justice, going for like just pure vengeance and revenge because of Nancy.
Yep.
But that like nothing ever came with that either.
Yeah, and once again forgotten in the flow.
Yeah, it almost felt like, hey, this could have been a booty call. Like, what the hell?
Exactly. You just killed it, bro.
So you said 60?
Yeah, 60.
All right. And that averages us out to a 62.5 for character development. All right, next up we got effects. So, like I said, this counts practical effects, action, stunt work. Kind of just covers the entire spectrum of effects.
And I was going to say this earlier, but I'll say it in here. The effects in this movie were great to me. And the one thing I loved about the action and the stunt work in this movie was because John was a juggernaut. Every time he tossed somebody, it was clear across the room. Every time. It did not matter how far the wall was. Somebody hit a wall when he threw them. You know what I'm saying? It was just if you go back, you can I think 4 or 5 people, he just it wasn't even this huge, it was like, who, and then like one of those like when someone takes a rag doll and throws it against the wall and it just clops it and it falls. That's exactly what happened every time, and it just felt so good to see that because it was just like, this is the kind of effect I love to see because it's so corny, but it flows so smoothly because it's just like, wait, huh? Just it'd be like the slightest chuck, and then you turn around and it's this a full speed body hitting the wall.
Yeah, and we try to when we do talk about effects, we try not to compare it to anything that you're going to see today.
Oh yeah,
we always try to compare it to the times.
Yeah,
but I mean the laws of physics did not apply to this movie whatsoever.
At all. But that's how an action movie's supposed to be. Guns are never supposed to run out of bullets. Everything's supposed to explode. And you know what? People get tossed through walls. You know what I'm saying? And that's a key action movie for me. Is because it's literally I in an action movie, I like realism. But there's got to be a little exaggeration in there. And I felt that this had just enough exaggeration where it was just like, okay, that was hilarious. But also, too, in the heat of the moment, that was good.
Yeah, like they followed it up like something corny and cheesy with something that was actually like pretty sick. Like and in the Capitol building when what's his face was like driving down the hallway, gets shot off his motorcycle, and his motorcycle goes launching out the window and hits the helicopter. Like that was sick.
It was, and the instantaneous explosion is always the best because it's like the motorcycle hits it right before it hits it. You can see where the crop happens, and it's like bike's gone, boom. I'm like, yes, you know what I'm saying? Because you can see that cut scene where it's like, I see what you did there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can say anything about this movie, it's consistent. Because like when he's chasing Ice and then Ice crashes into the car and the car just explodes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that wouldn't happen.
It would not. And he would just not, like it just, everything exploded though. It just needed to be tapped. Just a little love tap. Boom. Because I think it was like 4 or 5 explosions where that's exactly where it happened.
Yeah. They freaking got whoever did the makeup on Ice and that other dude when they got burnt up. That looked
real good.
It looked so good.
Yeah, it was gruesome to look at too because you're like, oh, what the I forgot how good it was because like even when they showed the guy in the hospital exploded, he was just like all fucked up. So just kill me. I don't want to. It's like nope, this bitch is gonna marry you and take care of you for the rest of your life. And he's like, I'm hurting, all right? And I just got hit with a grenade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like 2 or 3 scenes later, they're driving off in a motorcycle.
Dude, the shit that they pulled off there, like them getting Ice's body to pull that Viking funeral. I was like, that's gruesome.
And what I love too is like right when I could only imagine the thought process of what they were doing because like I said, he put a cigar in his mouth, light him up, and so instead of just lighting him up, bucket of gas, all right, light him up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you could have not had that already done. You know what I'm saying? All that wood that was under him, you guys didn't pre-soak that and have it prepared. You were just like, bucket of gas, light him. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that whole scene was just as trippy as all hell. I'm just like, this is so excessive, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, you guys got my attention. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that jump scene from the helicopter out by Boz. He jumped out of the helicopter through a glass window in the roof, and then like this had to be at least an 11-story jump. All right, from the top of a helicopter to inside the building, and then he just rolls it off. All right, he's just like, okay, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Tuck and roll.
That's playing a video game with no fall damage.
No fall damage. I was like, yes. Oh my God. It was just like, okay.
Yeah, the pyrotechnics on this movie alone were just insane. Like the trailer crashing into the gas station and just blowing right the hell up. Every grenade that was thrown, every car crash that happened, everything like ended in an explosion of some sort. And then, like you said, like people were getting thrown all over the place.
All over. Oh.
Like before he got to the pit, like you just see some dude fly like a full like 15 feet over like everyone.
You know what I'm saying? Tossed like it was nothing.
Like you have to appreciate like the 90s.
Oh yeah, and the consistency. Action. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, everything's gonna be like this.
Yeah, they kept everything like super. I mean, to their standard of like realism.
Oh, it's cheesy now, but back then, just like you said, you gotta think about it then. And that was the narrative. That's how things were. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like a Last Action Hero style of action, where it's like it's comical. I know it's comical, but this is how we're doing it. But it was so serious in the 90s.
Trying to think of what I would give this stuff.
It's high for me, bro. It's really high for me. I'm like 88 right away.
That's actually around where I was at. I wasn't quite at an 88. I was around like an 87. But yeah, like I'm in that range. Like it was good. It's just the only thing I'm docking for is just maybe just the excessive explosions. Like that's just it.
No explosions reason, but okay.
Yeah, it's just docking for that little bit of like, hey, we're completely ignoring the laws of physics here. Okay,
exactly.
You're gonna take some. We're gonna dock you some points here, but like have at it. All right, so that averages us out to an 87.5.
All right.
All right, next up, we got music. So this one's out of 10.
Okay, well, it had a good score. You know what I'm saying? Good music. And like I said, this is early 90s, so you're getting, it's the boss, so you get nothing but hair metal. And to me, it meshes well. It reminded me of a song, so I went back and looked it up. But it's just like, it's decent. It's real decent. And even with this, my score for this would be an 85, because I'm like, it was, it had dramatic music, but also too the soundtrack was, decent.
Yeah. All right. So an 80, that'd be about an 8.
For 8. Sorry. So it'd be about an 8. Yeah. I know. Yeah. You know what I meant.
Yeah. That's actually about where I'm at too. I thought the scores that they did have in there were pretty good. The music that they had really enhanced the scene. Didn't feel out of place at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing that was missing for me was just one outstanding song, or just one thing that got stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, that trailer song that needs to be like, this is the theme song of this movie. It didn't have that, but like I said, it all the other music in it, you know what I'm saying? It was perfect for the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that averages us out to an 8. Next up, we have costumes, which is also out of 10. And dude, someone was working overtime on this movie.
Let me tell you right now, it takes at least 3 people to get that mullet on point. The truckload of mousse and hairspray, all the Aquanet. This movie right here put a hole in the ozone layer with the amount of hairspray that was used.
Oh, I believe it. Dude, whoever was in charge of costuming Ice did a very not good job.
Well, the hair alone, I'm like, you could have slicked it back.
It wasn't even that. Like, it was from scene to scene. It was like, it was different. Like, in one scene, he was like super sweaty. His hair looked wet and just all types of greasy. And then the next one, it looked like he was in a freaking L'Oreal commercial.
Yeah, exactly. It's all froed, like styled out to where like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, is it humid today?
Yeah. And then it's like he suddenly believes in baby powder and just looks dry as like anything.
Exactly. And most of his characters always play a sweaty guy because he's always like so, manic all the time. And yet, like I said, it's just, but the thing is though, everything was bikered out. The patches look real good. The costumes, like I said, except for the guy who looked like who looked like Ice, is like, it's no understanding of that. You know what I'm saying? And just like you couldn't get tighter jeans and you couldn't get tighter shirts. You know what I'm saying? And every other person had a do-rag on.
Yeah, or for the people that were wearing shirts.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think they were like, in this movie, they're like, all women, no shirts.
Yeah, basically.
So we're
The only
trying to
one
get people
that's-
to see this movie. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, the only one that ever seemed to wear one was Nancy.
Yeah, the only because she had a lead role. Now, I'll tell you the costumes. Like I said, for a biker movie, everyone was decked out. You know what I'm saying? Everyone definitely. I'd give the costumes in this movie, except just like you said, I would have to give it a 7. I would definitely go 7 because, like I said, there was inconsistencies, and then 2, the stunt guys' costumes, like in the motorcycle scene, like Ice in the big chase scene with Ice and John. It went from do-rag to no do-rag. Do-rag to no do-rag. Do-rag, glasses, no do-rag, no glasses. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they're trying to hide that it's a stunt guy, but you could have kept the scene the whole way. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, they would go front to the back. And it's like, did anybody not see that in editing? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we're not re-recording this.
Dude, it's just that the stunt man or whoever they got to play, like, it was so obvious that it was not him.
Oh yeah, 100% obvious.
So freaking obvious.
You know, it would be funny if the person that looked like Ice that was in that I'm pretty sure that was just a stunt guy. That would make sense, right?
Dude, that would make sense. That would make a ton of sense. That still trips me up. It's just, I know that it was someone else. I think.
No, it
like,
was.
I'm not even 100% sure. Like, I'm not sure if they're just like, oh, we included Ice and we just like planned his death later. So it's just like, okay, we just threw in the scenes where this guy's not talking.
Yep. in the middle of the scene.
Yeah, they could have done anything different. They could have gave him like shorter hair, given him longer hair, shaved him. Like,
yeah, he didn't have to have a 5 o'clock shadow just like him. Guess what? Completely different person.
yeah, it's just like, come on, people, freaking lazy. I am a little higher on the costumes score just because I like to look for like a good silhouette.
If nudity counts as costume, my score's gonna change. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being clear because if nudity is counted as a costume, my score is gonna go to a 9, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I was more talking about like Boz's outfit. Like,
oh yeah,
I always try to think like, or when I'm looking at costumes, I always try to consider like a solid silhouette. Like, if you have a solid silhouette, my score is pretty high, and it's just based off of whatever I feel the rest of the cast had. And so I'm sitting at an 8 because if you were just to give me a silhouette of Boz, like,
you could pick
you could pick it out in
Yeah.
a heartbeat. It's just everyone else, like, I mean, they fit the mold, like the biker gang look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, no complaints there, but yeah, so I'm going a little bit higher because of the just the overall aesthetic, which wouldn't matter because we round down, so it
and so it goes like that.
Yeah,
well, like I said, you're gonna you had to have a talk with Rose and ask him, are we going to consider nudity costumes? Because like I said, that does dramatically change scores when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, you know, they don't have to dress for it, but it's part of their aesthetic.
Yeah, we did talk about 50 Shades of Grey way back when. So I'd have to go back and listen to that one because I don't know if we considered that to be costuming.
It goes like that.
Yeah, so costumes sitting at a 7.
All right.
All right, last up we got our own personal grade. So you want to hit this one up?
I'll go first. This one is a 9 for me. And the reason it's a 9 because it's
Oh, this one's out of 100. Sorry.
Oh, out of 100. Okay, if
Yeah.
it's doing out of 100, then this right here, if out of 100, I should have remembered that. Out of 100, this is a 95. And the reason this is a 95 is because it's nostalgic. I seen it when it came out in the drive-in. All right. And I seen it because my mom didn't know what I was watching because it was a double feature. And it came after the movie that I was watching first. So I had got an eyeful. You know what I'm saying? So at a young age, in 91, I was trying to think of, I was 8 years old. So this was the shit. And so it holds that. I watched this through nostalgia glasses, and I enjoy it. It was fun to rewatch. It was fun to watch again. I don't go out of my way to watch this, but I always have a good, fond memory of watching this.
Nice. I'm a little lower.
Which is
being
understandable.
100% real. I think I'm gonna be sitting at like a 67 for this. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like, it was enjoyable. I had a good time. I was laughing at damn near everything that this movie was doing. It was a really good time overall. Like, I had an absolute blast, but just, if you, like, I was calling shit out, like, all the time, like, wait, I thought that dude was dead, when Not Ice was on.
Yeah.
And just trying to understand, like, hey, why the hell did they kill the guardsman? Because they never really explain that. And just the fact that they bring him to the compound, kill him, and then take him back.
Yeah.
Like
and put him in a crate.
Yeah. What the hell was that all about? Just weird shit like that. It was funny. It was fun to laugh at. Like, I could imagine getting a bunch of friends and watching something like this and just laughing your ass off the entire time. But yeah, overall, yeah, 67 for me. It was fun.
I respect it. Like I said, I caught this at a very young age. And like I said, it's one of those movies that's always held a little spot in my heart. And I'm happy that I was able to share this with you and have this conversation with you because, like I said, nobody wanted to watch this with me. You know, like I've been, like, I want to say a year. I've been trying for a year to get someone to do this with me. And everyone's been like, no. You know what I'm saying? Or no response. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, no, I enjoyed this enough to where I'd love to share it. I'd love to talk about it. And you know what? Like I said, the surprised look on your face every time you were describing something was exactly, imagine, like I said, an 8-year-old kid seeing everything that you just saw with no parental supervision. You know what I'm saying? All 100% unrated, drive-in movie theaters, me sitting in a car eating a big-ass bag of popcorn and some soda, watching this. It's like, yes!
Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, we'll break down damn near anything. Like, I don't know if there's anything we won't break down. Like, I know I have a couple other movie podcasts I listen to. I mean, hell, I started listening to Terrible Terror because of you.
Oh, yeah.
That one. So
Brian, he goes hard to paint, though.
Yeah, so it's I know that there's a movie that every one of those has said, like, this will be the last episode that we ever do. Like, if we ever talk about this movie, just know the podcast is over. And I'm like, our standards aren't that high.
Yeah, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Oh.
Yeah. All right, well, that averages us out to an 81 for our personal score. So, that brings our final All Bros and Angry Dad podcast letter grade for Stone Cold to a C+.
Ah. Slightly
higher than I
above
thought it was going to
average.
get. Yeah. Yeah, that's way higher than I thought it was going to get. That's why I love our system, because I still get surprised.
You know, it's like, huh? What? C plus?
Yeah. Oh, it is like barely.
just slightly there, huh?
Yeah. So it's at the bottom of our C plus movie.
Yeah, I could live with that though. I'm glad this movie made a C plus, because I definitely want to hear what it's above and what it's below.
Ooh, some of these are going to not feel great. All right, so wait, what the hell? Hold on. Something got goofy. Okay, here we go. All right, so Stone Cold is sitting at a 76.5.
Nice.
So that puts it below Unhinged, which is at a 76.87. Puts it below The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard,
I could
which
live
is
with
at
that.
a 76.91. Puts it below Boondock Saints.
Oh, hey, I could live with that too.
Yeah, which is at a 77.12. The Strangers Pray at Night.
Nice.
Which is at a 77.18. And then finally it is below Aquaman, which is at a 77.3.
Yeah, I could definitely, if it would have just did a little bit better than Aquaman, I'd have been okay.
The margins are super, super close, though. Like, it's not even it's 0.8%, like a 0.8% difference. So it is.
That is so close.
Yeah, it's really tight. Like, our margins, like when I go through like our top, like the 5 above or the 5 below, most of the time it's not even getting a full percentage away. All right, so where it's at puts it above. All the movies I'm about to list now are all C movies, because this was like our bottom C plus movie. But yeah, so that puts it above My Spy, which is at a 75.87. Puts it below or above The Addams Family, which is at a 75.45.
All right.
Yeah, the animated one.
Oh, okay, that's a little different. How about the sale? I was like, man.
This one kind of hurts. It is above Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is at a 75.33. It's also above The Rise of Skywalker, which is at a 75.31.
All right. The Stone Cold got a little weight behind it.
Yeah, and then it is above Venom, which is at a 75.22.
Ooh.
But yeah,
see what happens when you miss them?
Yeah, I know, right?
Could have dramatically changed the score.
Yeah, so we have 24 C plus movies, and this is placed at number 24.
Just there.
Yeah, but other than Ant-Man, I wonder why Ant-Man and the Wasp is so low. But anyway, I think it has a pretty decent home. The only one I'm not super agreeing with is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how it goes, though. Yeah. I honestly forgot what happened with that one. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Must have been Michelle Pfeiffer.
Nah, it was the music. It was the music and the story that killed it. Which which is exactly where it outshined. Or Stone Cold outshined it, so it makes sense. It tracks. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with it. I mean, a C plus is a pretty decent score for this movie.
Oh yeah, no, this is extreme. Like I said, I was predicting like D minus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, like I realistically, like, because I have an idea of where these movies can place. I was actually like thinking like a mid C.
Okay.
Like that was like my initial thoughts on it, like a mid C, like maybe a little bit closer to a C minus. But I thought it was good enough not to quite be in the D area.
Oh, okay. You know, like I say, you know, when I see these movies, like I said, we talk about like a B movie, and there are C movies, and there are D movies, and this one always falls under the point because like I can talk about it, nobody knows it, but if I mention the Boz, they know the Boz, but they don't know the movie, and so like you know, it doesn't hold well with age with a lot of people because like I said, this is just like one of those ones where like, do I need to watch a motorcycle movie?
Yeah, I mean, the scores have to be really low to even reach the D area.
Yeah.
Like we have 4 D plus movies, 2 D movies, 2 D minus movies, and 1 F.
Damn.
Like it's like like that. Like I feel like we think that there's something redeemable in every movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like those few, there's not.
Well, you know, there are movies that can't recover, and it just is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, most of the time, like whenever there's just a movie that we just do not like, it still ends up in the C range.
Yeah.
Like there's just one that we just have, like we come out of and just are like, no, that was just garbage.
Yeah.
But we need to find something redeemable about it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. So anyway, that concludes this week's breakdown. Ben, thank you for joining me on this episode. This was an absolute blast. I'm glad that we got to talk about this one.
For real.
So yeah, I mean, if you have any other movies that you have been wanting to break down forever, like hit us up.
Nah, I definitely will. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw a few out towards you because, like I said, I got a couple of little hidden gems where I'm like, I enjoy them because they're a guilty pleasure, but to me, they're just a fun watch.
Those are usually the best movies. Guilty pleasures are guilty pleasures. So
Exactly.
Like, there are movies that I've continue to watch that I know are just complete trash.
All the trash. But it's just like, I like a train wreck.
Yeah. Like, I think my guilty pleasure is the Punisher movie from, like, early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
No, John
let me tell you
Travolta.
now, that one's a classic. I don't care what anybody says. That's the only Punisher. Like I said, I love the TV series, Netflix series, Punisher. Plays it perfect. But that early 90s John Travolta Punisher, that is the perfect Punisher in my eyes, where it's like tactile, smooth, never fucking unhinged, just I'm there to do a job. And that is why I always loved that Punisher the most, because like he was able to take himself out of being a bad guy and being an anti-hero and was able to be like, nope, it's by the book and my book, and it's precise, clean, and smooth. Everything well thought out, everything planned out. I'm killing you. You know what I'm saying? I love that precision because I'm a huge Punisher fan. I've read almost every Punisher comic book you can ever imagine growing up. You know what I'm saying? I could never. War Journal was my favorite version. It just is what it is, and so I just love that version of him. You know what I'm saying? Even though Dolph Lundgren played a great Punisher, it still wasn't that one though.
Yeah. I was way too young to watch that movie when I did. I wasn't actually even, my dad didn't know I was watching it with him. I was hiding out behind the couch and just kind of like peeking from behind it. And the scene like it's still freaking like scarred in my brain. But the scene when the dude with all the piercings is getting them like ripped out, and he's just like screaming and everything. That is like the scene that's just like seared into my brain. And I've seen so much more violent shit than that in like the many years that I've been watching movies.
Yep.
When I go back and rewatch that Punisher, I still like cringe.
Because it's like that, man. And then the whole like in the nightclub scene fight where he puts that knife right through the bottom of the jaw into the dude's head, I'm like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? And then Kevin Nash, Big Daddy, sexy, cool, fucking really got stabbed in the shoulder. It's like fuck, they didn't even flinch. That was the actual scene they used. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, dude, that movie's. I love that movie.
Did you watch the short film that they did for it, The Dirty Laundry? There's a small clip they made, like a little teaser trailer for a second Punisher. They made it just to kind of tease the studio to make the next, the part 2, but they never did. So if you go on YouTube, look up Punisher Dirty Laundry. It's so fucking great and so fucking brutal. It's like, I go back and rewatch it every so often. It's like 15-minute clip. It's like that's what we need for the next fucking one.
Yeah, dude. My only hope, just because like the rights finally went back to Marvel or to Disney, I guess. With Daredevil and Punisher and all that. My only hope is that if Disney's going to neuter Punisher, I do not want another season of Punisher.
Well, that's the thing is like you got to remember when Disney Plus, because in the rest of the world you had to adjust your TV rating for MA. In the United States, we didn't have to do that. But right when the release, the rights got back to Disney, you had to go through your Disney Plus Netflix login. Put in a password so you can adjust it for the TV MA. So it gave that mature audience log on it. So guess what? They're not going to neuter it. They're going to keep it the same. And just from what I was reading in articles is the Punisher from that one that we like is going to be wants to be the director for the new Punisher for the TV series and the movie. Because he feels he can direct it in the right direction it needs to go in.
I'm down.
Yeah, I read it. I was like, yes, give me that.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm excited for whatever the future of Punisher comes to be.
Like I said, whether they do another TV series and continue the seasons. Great, because that was beautiful the way it was done. And you know what? If they give us a movie, guess what? I'm going to fucking watch the movie because I like the Punisher.
Hell yeah. Oh, dude, see, when they introduced him in season 2 of Daredevil,
yep,
the best. That was
I'm sorry, that brutal grittiness. It is literally like they peeled him out of the comic book and put him into the real life.
Oh man, dude, John Bernthal is just the best.
I saw him one time after season 1 at an autograph signing place. I'd never realized how short he was.
Really?
Yeah.
How big is he?
He's got to be like 5'6", 5'7". He's not.
Oh man,
I'm 6'5", bro, and I'm like, no, he can't be that short.
I'm looking up his height. Oh, he's 5'11".
No, he's not 5'11".
I mean, that's what it says on Google.
In movie
You're also
height,
like
yeah.
6'5", Ben.
I know what I'm saying. But, like, my kid is bigger than him, and my kid's 5'11".
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, someone's...
But
are you sure your kid's not just
like
super
WWE,
big too?
Bro. They you know what I'm saying? You got to boost those numbers up.
Oh.
Just stating facts. I've seen them in life.
Fair enough. Damn, now I like next time if I like ever get the opportunity to go see him, because like my wife is 5'10". She's almost 5'11". So I just kind of want to go. Like I have that reference in my head.
That's it. My wife's 5'11". You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like when I seen him, I was like, no. I was like, yep.
Oh man. Anyway, that'll be an interesting one.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, would you like to tell everyone where they could find you and all the amazing things that you do?
Oh yeah, I'm the angry motherfucking dad. You want to watch my shit? IGTV, YouTube. You want to listen to it? Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, SoundCloud, Deezer, iHeartRadio. You can find my shit everywhere. Rate, review, like, subscribe, all that fucking bullshit. And guess the fuck what? This is the All Bros Podcast. Thank you for tuning the fuck in. And you know what? We'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one.
Hell yeah. Well, if you like this episode, want to check out more of our stuff, you can basically find us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are also on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search at The All Bros. Email us, theallbroschannel@gmail.com. Check out our website, tinyurl.com/The All Bros, where you can find links to everything that we do. And next week, I think we're going to be talking about West Side Story.
Nice.
Yeah. So you guys can look forward to that next week. But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I'm Caleb. And Rose isn't here to do the other half. So for Rose, we'll be signing off. Deuces.